Welcome to the 100% restoration and remodel of the 17-acre, 15-room mansion that my great-great-grandfather bought almost 100 years ago for $7,000. Up to this point, we demolished and pulled all the rotten bird poop boards in the attic and then closed cell spray foam insulated it. We then removed the original oak hardwood floors from the upstairs and downstairs. Without missing a beat, we dove into removing tens of thousands of pounds of plaster and lath from the entire house. Once the plaster and lath were removed, we moved on to using a giant vacuum to remove the antique insulation from the attic, upstairs, and downstairs. We then put our demolition hats back on and demoed the kitchen, the master staircase, and the basement. During this whole process, we removed the original antique radiators, 2 chimneys, and a giant creepy big black tank. After weeks of work, we got started on construction. We built new floors in the kitchen, dining room, living room, pantry, and bathroom. The kitchen even got a brand new wall, ceiling, and pantry. We then headed down into the basement and installed new support beams below the kitchen, the dining room, the living room, and the kitchen pantry. Upon investigations while working in the basement, we discovered a faulty wall, so we demoed and rebuilt a brand new wall. After a couple hundred hours of work later, we were then able to return to the second floor to start removing warped, squeaky subflooring. So this brings us to today. We have a giant hole in the floor of the second story of the house, and we need to get it fixed. So today we are going to be building a brand new floor. So this is the way that we are going to be going about laying down our subfloor today. First thing first, we need to get a measurement. So we need to know how long the piece is going to be or where it's going to land. So we're going to measure 8 feet because that's how long our OSB sheets are. So in this case, we're going to be right here on this particular floor joist. And then we need to measure out 4 feet, which is how wide we are, which is going to be right here. Then we're going to put a mark right at 4 feet. Next up, we need to get our obstacles out of the way. We have some old subflooring here that we were using as a walkway. So we will simply pull this up. Now we got our space clear. We need to double check to make sure there's no nails sticking up. We got a couple we gotta pull out. And then we've been using the leaf blower to clean off our areas. If there's any dust or grit, it's not there underneath the wood, making like a creaky point. The name of the game when it comes to this subflooring is we never want it to move because when it moves, it starts to squeak. So that's where this glue is going to come into place. So now we are going to glue the floor joists.
Getting ready to spray, Cole?
Yeah, getting everything ready.
Did you grab your bit? Did I put up here?
Yes.
Good job.
And then we're coming in with our OSB sheet and we'll get it lined up. And we put it on rough side up. I don't know if that's right or not, it's just what Justin says to do. Now Justin's gonna mash it into place with a sledgehammer. And then as an extra layer of squeak protection, we are going to be fastening down the subflooring with screws. So we have 1 3/4 screws and each OSB sheet gets 54 of them. Whoa, Roman, wrong size there, buckaroo. That's what you need.
Oh, Justin told me the bigger the better.
Bunch of liars.
Learn from the best, Justin.
So that's one down. We got like 50 to go. We've got about 12 sheets of OSB laid down. We are at a little bit of a stopping point because right here we have 3 floor joists that we need to put a new one right beside because there used to be a wall sitting right here running on top of one of these floor joists. And that wall weighed like 800 pounds. And so over the last 100 years, this floor joist, well, it's got a little bit of a broken back and it decided it was gonna settle out. So from this board over to this board, it drops nearly 1 inch. So this one got a little bit of warping, this one got a little bit of warping, and this one got all of the warping. So we are simply going to put 3 new ones right beside this, and then we will have everything at the exact same height as these outside ones, and then we will not have a big dip here in the floor anymore. So we got some stuff we got to take out, we'll get the new ones in, and then we will continue laying down our new subflooring.
Apparently when we were installing this first LVL, we ran big T30 screws all the way through, but this board right here has a big lip. And now there is no way to get to the screw unless we just cut it out.
Just look at it. I'll be done one of these weeks.
Just like that, in the best traditions of construction, we have an issue. After fixing an issue already, after landing the sheet on these doubled floor joists that we just installed, we found out that the sheet lands right in the center between the two. Meaning now we have to make them in the same plane that we didn't count on. So we're gonna redo it one more time. Dust Collector 2000 picks up every single particle of dust.
Yes, we've been making such a big mess around here that we needed this. It was worth the $28,000 investment.
855-349-9784.
Or, in other words, 1-800-collectyourdust.com.
We're currently in the dining room / living room because the wall that separates the two is right here behind me. Our objective today is getting rid of this old header board, replacing it with a new big LVL beam that's gonna span from the exterior wall all the way through, resting on our divider wall and tying into our new big beam that we just recently installed. And the way we're gonna do it is setting the 2 new headers to support each side so we can remove the old one out and it's still being supported. The same thing we're gonna do on the second floor, because we have this wall that sits on top of our header. That's why our header is there, to support this wall. But then we need to put something into place so we can take the wall out, and it's gonna be one LVL beam on one side. And we think it should be good enough because there is not a whole lot of load there, and the way we have those boards tied together, it should be good enough for what we need it for. And here's a good visual from the second floor. There is one LVL that goes all the way to the exterior and supports our floor. There is another LVL right there, goes along that. So both of our ends supported. Then we can take this header out. Then after this goes up, it will support pretty much everything here, all this ceiling. And we can take out this wall here. We're doing all this because we cannot keep doing our flooring because of that wall. And so we can finally finish our support framing on the first floor, because this beam is not cutting it. It has to be much longer, going all the way there. Something that I keep on my heart right now that I want to share, and that's for you wives. If you think your husbands are buying too many tools, it definitely may appear that way, but if we didn't have the variety of tools, like even doing this job would be extremely difficult or would take much longer. For some of the nails we need to start pulling them with this tool and then switch over to this tool, but if we had just one of these, the job would be taking much longer to do. So wives, please don't yell at your husbands that they're buying too many tools. They just want to be more efficient. It's nothing personal. It's not toys, I promise. What's next, Brother Bear?
Well, we need to mark them and cut them if this is where we want it.
Tell me what you want me to do, boss.
Well, let's screw a block up on the bottom of that header and then put the laser up there, and then that should give us our information we need to cut that cripple over there.
Justin has finished cutting the channel for our double LVL that's going to be inserted in here. Now he's grabbing a piece of wood, gonna screw it here so we have a platform for the laser, and it's gonna help us to determine where we need to cut those studs off to set our beam on top of.
So basically the bottom of our beam will be at 7/8 of an inch.
Justin opened his own can of worms, cutting all that stuff out for the placement of LVLs. While he's doing that, I'm gonna open my own can of worms. And it's that rim board you can see on the exterior wall. It is about 3/4 inch higher from our plane and level surface that we want it to be at. And it has nails in the studs, big nails. We need to drop it down to adjust it and see what I can do right now. See, you put this little ladder backwards.
It won't be once you get it like that.
We have a helper here in the house. My wife stopped by on the way to a local lake here, and she decided to make her presence, and my oldest daughter, Enea, wanted to check things out. Okay, hi. One beam is up, the second one will have to be screwed, glued together to it, and we'll be done.
Hey Justin, who's your favorite celebrity?
Chuck Norris.
Roman, who's your favorite celebrity?
It is a Cole the Corn Star. What about you?
I don't know. I'm trying to think of even who's famous. Nobody's famous anymore.
Mike Tyson.
I'm gonna have to go with Mike Tyson. So since your celebrity was Chuck Norris, I have to act like Chuck Norris, you have to act like Mike Tyson, and you have to act like Cole the Corn Star.
No!
I just want to make it very clear, I would have not have cut that board like that. I would still not even have made the cut yet.
You would have used the back
kick.
I insist.
Eat the sandwich.
Eat my sandwich. We kept the recipe in our family for 2,000 years.
Hey Justin,
Yo.
did you know that I can dribble a bowling ball?
Can you? Give me that glue. You guys are playing tag up there.
Hey, that is not what I would say.
What would you say?
I don't know, you tell me. You've been working with me for 3 months. Hey Justin,
Yo!
I can speak Braille.
Hey,
What is a YOLO?
Hey,
step back. Step back, please. I
He's
insist.
farting in his space.
I insist.
He's farting.
Step back.
one time a king cobra bit me in my leg. After 5 days of excruciating pain,
She died.
the cobra died. So now what Justin and Roman are doing, they're taking these floor joists and they are either lifting them up or pushing them down to get them equal right to the top of this beam. And this is the level we're basing everything off of. Well, I think it's pretty safe to say the dump truck can literally not hold anymore. And we also have an entire pile taking up this room. Ugh, this means we are taking a trip in the dump truck. On the back side of this big wood pile I have behind me, we have the old concrete remains of a building that was here like 30 years ago. We need to bury those concrete remains at some point. So we are simply putting our big pile of wood right beside that. I'm gonna go grab the skid loader here in just a minute and we're gonna pile this all up. And then that way when we burn it and all the nails and stuff are left, when we end up burying the concrete remains behind us, we can push all of this burned ash with the nails inside of it down in the bottom of the hole, and then we will never have to worry about these nails again. I think I've made a fair few trips over here, so I'm very fortunate that I didn't have to pay to have this stuff taken away. Actually, the more I sit and think about it, by the time I get a bulldozer out here and an excavator and pay that bill, it'll probably be higher than what it would cost for me to just bring this stuff to the dump. However, if we bury that concrete, it would be a farm improvement, and that's a tax deduction. So it makes it cheaper for this house job, but technically more expensive on the farm side of things, but we can deduct it on the farm. So that's what we're gonna do. Now that the dump truck is empty, let's take a full scope look at what we all got done today. We ended up getting basically everything done in the ceiling back in the living room. So we are going to have a wall going all the way across right here. Basically, it cuts that window in half. And then so this back part is going to all be living room. We are currently waiting on an I-beam to come in that is going to be sitting right underneath of where this board is. But we got all of the joist hangers hung up there. Justin and Roman got that big old LVL beam in, and when they put it in, they lifted this side of the floor up. So we had to take that side down 1/2 inch. We brought this side up 1/2 inch. So now we have level floor joist there. They got some foam chipped out. They were able to get this trimmer set inside of here. So now the load of that big beam is being carried right down to the foundation of the house. On this end, we currently have it hung up over on this big LVL, which we are going to have a post that's going to be hidden inside of the wall, which is why we need our I-beam, because it's going to sit on top of that, because we have a pole that runs over there, or a big beam that runs over there, and then there's a big beam that runs underneath my feet. So that I-beam will bridge between the two, and then the big post will be able to connect right up to that LVL. So this room is starting to look a lot different now. We have the kitchen, and then this is the pantry room right off the side of it. We're gonna have the dining room. Then we were able to finally get our temporary wall out of here. So now we can see how much more open this is going to be. We are going to have living room wall right back there, right along that board. And then we will have the staircase over here. So we'll have 4 foot of staircase. So basically from right here to that wall, we are gonna have it split exactly halfway. So half of this is going to be staircase, and then the other half is going to be hallway. If we take a little trip up the stairs, which we are going to be replacing these stairs at some point, because just listen. Oh, not really doing it right now, but sometimes when you step on these, you really feel like you're gonna fall through, and it's a little bit sketchy. We got a incredible amount done up here, getting the old subflooring off, and then now putting new subflooring down. It's actually starting to come together and feel like an actual room. So we are going to be moving this hallway wall about right over to here. It's actually going to be lined up right over the top of that wall. So it's about where that grinder is sitting. So it just needs to move a little bit. That way we are transferring attic load straight down into the center foundation of the house, which is right underneath of that wall. Up here, we are going to have a wall dividing the room right where this header board is currently sitting. And so this back room is going to be its own room. These two are going to be together, and that closet is also going to be included in this room. And then over here, all of this is going to be one room. So right here, and then where we have the subflooring going up to those stairs is going to be one room. And then wherever we move the hallway over to. So everything over here, we are going to be pulling out this wall, and we're going to be pulling out that wall. And then this is going to be an open hallway common space. So when we put the stairway back in, you'll be able to step up the stairs right here, look right through here, and you'll be able to see the staircase on the other side of the house going down, as well as the one going up into the attic. When we add on more to the house in the future, we will be adding doors over here. So that's the plan of kind of getting this area opened up. But look at that. We got a lot done. It looks really, really nice. I'm really happy with what we got done today, and I'm also really tired, and Justin and Roman went home. So this is all we got for today. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next one.